Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your love and relationship reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius, love and relationships. Aquarius, love and relationships. Aquarius, love and relationships. Aquarius, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Angels and spirit guides. I think this is 2. Yeah, there we go. And 1 bonus card. Can you see everything okay? Oh, brilliant. And now we're going to be looking at your chakra energy. Now, this is going to be the energy where we feel a little bit sensitive, a little bit vulnerable, and this is going to be in all realms of relationships. So it's not just simply, our romantic relationships. This can be in in any relationship that we have, quite frankly. Okay, so let's look here. Aquarius, love and relationships. Aquarius, love and relationships. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Brilliant. And then finally, the energy that we need to be mindful of during this time is kind of like the little sneak attack energy that's going to come in and try to knock us off our feet, try to play with our heads. This is going to be how we are the most vulnerable. And again, remember, this is in all realms of relationship. So what is the energy that Aquarius needs to be mindful of? Love and relationships. What is the energy that Aquarius needs to be mindful of? Love and relationships. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So we're starting here with the crown. And we have the Queen of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Very passionate during this time. Our passion can kind of get the better of us, to be really honest. We can find ourselves being a little bit too invested in things. It's like it has to work out a certain way. We're very much roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty type of people during this time. It's like, okay, I need to go after this, and I'm going to put in the hard work. I'm going to put in the effort. And yeah, we'll think the more I do, the more will come. And sometimes during this time, we just need to step back a bit. Yeah, because we have the Strength card. Now, this can also be dealing with a Leo. Now, a Leo is, of course, represented by the Strength card in the Major Arcana, by the Wands in the Minor Arcana. Fire sign energies, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So here, now here, there is also a sense of our greatest strength not coming from force, but coming from this presence of spirit, this peace of mind, this sense of I'm more than just the person that stands here right now. I am a collectiveness of consciousness. I'm a collectiveness of power and of being and of divinity within me. We're made of stardust. That doesn't sound real. It sounds like it's simply a poem, but it is a truth. And so here, there is a sense of strength coming forward and us realizing that strength. We also need a partner during this time, whether we're in a relationship or whether we're seeking a relationship, who can stand by us in honesty. And if we're not interested in love, if we're perfectly happy being single during this time, people of quality, that's what we're going to be looking for. These kind of fly-by-night, gossipy relationships, we don't want them. We're not interested in them. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Our hard work is paying off. There's a sense that, yeah, there's going to be more hard work to come, but enjoy the payoff while it's here. We then have the Page of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So if you're born on the cusp with Pisces, you're going to find that your heart is really learning a lot during this time, but simply your heart is learning a lot, period, no matter where you fall in the Aquarius time frame. There is a sense here of passionate development, of looking at things through different eyes, and it's part of our strength during this time. It leads us to the Ace of Cups. We're getting a gift of love from divinity, God, source, spirit, however you say it, however you see it. And it is making us a student of who we want to be, of how we want to develop, of where it is that we desire. And it leads us to the 10 of Wands. There is something about this time, and it can be because of our ferocity of spirit, that we are releasing the burden that we carry. But during this time, and what Spirit was showing before, like, we throw ourselves completely into things during this time, okay? It's like, I need to get this done, and we will take on all the responsibilities. Our root during this time is a sense of keep it coming. Keep it coming. I can keep going. I'll keep on pushing through this. I will conquer. I will succeed. And it's like, okay, great. But where's the time for healing? Where's the time for connection? Where's the time to really look at what we love and how we love and where we want to be within love and say, what do I want? What do I want and what do I need? It leads us then to the 3 of Swords, yes, because over all of this is heartbreak, pain, and disappointment. And the 3 of Swords isn't just a relationship that can be going sour, though it may very well be. It is a sense of these heartbreaks building up, these hurts, these pains, these disappointments building. And it's like, well, where do I stand here? What do I desire? Where is it that I want to be? And how is it that I can be when I have known failure? Here's a secret that nobody wants us to know. Everybody fails. And people say that so flippantly, oh, everybody fails. But we as human beings, we take that failure very personally, especially when it comes to intimate relationships or relationships in general. Why? Because we're social beings. We're not meant to be completely solitary all the time. We're meant to have a connection. That's why people who even live monastic lives, they live together, or they live in solitude with prayer, and prayer becomes an extra part of their being. So here, during this time, there is this sense of a powerful coming together, and there is this sense of connecting with divinity, which helps strengthen our hearts, strengthen our souls. Now, our chakra message for this time is holistic health. We need to do what's holistically healthy for us, the holistic self. Now, this can be to reach out to alternative medicine, okay? This can also be the practicing of Karetsa if we need to embrace more if we need to get the intimacy back in our relationship, right? If we're in a relationship and we think, well, we're kind of like roommates, and I don't want that. If you're perfectly happy like that, then, it's your life. Totally go for it. But here, there is a sense of, I have to do what's right for me. And when we say this, I have to do what's right for me, we need to own it instead of feeling guilty about it. So many times we think, well, this is what I really want, but my partner doesn't want this, or the world is going to laugh at me, or, oh my gosh, people are going to think poorly of me. And so we don't give ourselves permission to be who it is that we truly are. And so here with holistic health, which is at the root of us, our root chakra, there is a sense of really embracing our holistic self, really looking at what we desire from life, where it is that we want to be, how it is that we want to move forward, what it is that we call for from existence, and saying, this is part of me. This is a part of me that gets to shine. And Karetsa is, of course, always linked in the description box below because it is so intrinsically important in relationships. It's that connection. It's non-orgasmic sex, which sounds, it sounds crazy. It really does. Or as a friend of mine would say, wackadoodle. It just sounds so out there. But if you say, okay, I'm taking this out of sex, and I'm making it the bonding, it's like prolonged foreplay. And we know how foreplay works. You get the other person all wrapped up, and then the other person's just always thinking about you. And don't we want that? But we, in our world, we chase the highs. We can see it. We can see it in drug epidemics. We chase the highs. We can see it in the way that we act as a race, we chase the highs. And now it's kind of like, but what if we chased the connection? What if we said there has to be more to this? Because if it was just simply, have more orgasms, have a better life, that seems rather like an easy fix. Here, when we're looking at the root of ourselves, we're looking at the root of our souls, not only as humans, but also as a bit of the divine within us. And it moves us to the energy we have to be mindful of, the Princess of Wands, this fire sign energy, which we're crowned with which there we go, which divinity already had us be mindful of in the very beginning. It's like, okay, we're going to be really passionate. We're going to be really kind of going after things. And this can be a person who, you're going to think, wow, they're kind of a princess. And I hate to say that because it can also be used against us when it goes to our passion and what we desire. Oh, don't be a princess. Like, oh, don't think so highly of yourself. You're no great thing. And it's like, excuse you, I am. Because I am me. And that gets to embrace a level of greatness. And it's not that I'm better than anybody. It's just simply that nobody's better than me. And if our world started to operate in that mentality, in that sense that there's a divine right to each and every one of us, and it brought the divine back into relationships, could you imagine where we would be? Could you imagine what that would be? Because I'm trying to think right now of a time where love was truly considered sacred. And you can say, what was it, Tamara it was Tamara, I believe, in the Bible, who was seen as a sacred prostitute. Was it her? I don't remember. All right, but at the crossroads, who connected, and whose job was to connect sacredly with men. And so here, there is a sense of connecting sacredly. And there's this sense of moving forward in power. And there's a sense of this beauty coming back. It's the Shekinah in Judaic tradition. It is the Sophia in Christian tradition. It's like, what is this power that I want? And what is this beauty of finding it? And so this can be corrupted against us because we're going to think, oh, well, look at this person. They get exactly what they want, but they use sexuality and sensuality quite differently. They kind of use it as a weapon. Like, I know I'm hot and I'm going to get what I want from it. This is a sense of saying, no, I know that there is power here. I know that there is beauty here within my heart. So that can be easily corrupted because we're filled with this world that says, oh, well, love looks like this. Love is this box right here. We see it in all the romantic movies. We see it all over the place. It's used in marketing. It's used in Disney. We see what romantic love is supposed to be like from a very little age. And yet, when we try to emulate that, when we try to bring that forward, it doesn't work the same way. And so here, when we're embracing our passion, when we go from having the princess around us to having the queen. And the queen is like, listen, this is what's going to happen. This is what needs to be done. Now, it can be that we have a very controlling fire sign energy around us, saying, this is what needs to happen, this is what needs to be done. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if it goes against the holistic you. I don't care what you think. This is what I want. And because there is this level of connection within ourselves, it seems like the love that is being demanded of us is an extra burden. It doesn't jive with us. So during this time, one of the really challenging things we're going to have to do is say, but this is the love I want. Like, this is my idea of love. I remember I was talking to my brother once, and my brother in a relationship, oh my gosh, Tim and his partner become inseparable. For me, that's too much. That's too much. And we were talking about like needing your space within a couple. And I was like, oh yeah, needing to just be alone. And he was like, no, like needing your space as a couple from other people. We interpreted that so differently. So here, it is that sense. It's like, what is a good relationship for us? Not what the world wants, but for us. And it's embracing that passion and saying, well, this is me. Like it? Awesome. Don't like it? Still great. I'm still me. I still get to move forward in that power and in that beauty of being myself. And it moves us then to strength, because claiming who we sensually are, who we personally are. And this doesn't just have to be in romantic relationships. This can be in everyday relationships. We try to be everything to everyone. We have that at our root. We're going to say, bring it on. Bring on the hardships and the struggles and the burdens and the disasters. I can handle it. Well, there's only so long we can handle it. And there's only so much that we can take to feel like what we want from life is wrong, until we start to question everything. What happens here is we start to have a gift of love come forward. It's a gift that shines brightly within us, that moves us forward, that says, this is what I need to shine. And the strength card, the card that says, this is power. Well, power is great. Strength is great. But strength, when we think of it, what does it mean? You know, it's really interesting. When I think of strength, always an image of my great-grandmother comes up. She was the strongest woman I knew. My grandma, my mom, those are images of strength to me. None of them were bodybuilders. None of them, you know, ran companies. My great-grandma came to America dirt poor and worked her whole entire life. And when I knew her, she was in her 90s. She isn't what you traditionally thought of as strength, but she is what I picture as strength, because it's a strength of character. It is a strength of determination. It is a strength of focus. And that's what we're having here. It's the strength that gets overlooked. If you had a lineup and you said, who's the strongest one here? You would never point to the little old person with a cane. You'd go, oh, okay, you know, but they walk through fire in their lives, and the strength is amazing. And so that's what we're seeing here. The strength of, I survived that relationship. The strength of, I figured out what love is for me. The strength of, I know what I desire. That becomes the shining beacon. That becomes the greatest power that we so readily overlook. Our strength during this time is the strength of knowing what we love and what we want, what is right for us and what isn't. And it brings us to a richness coming in, to a wealth and to a prosperity, to a bounty that seems out of sorts at times. And we know there's going to be hard work because there always is hard work. You know, excuse me. I was listening to this thing on YouTube about this divorce lawyer discussing love. And he said more people talk about the cake that they're going to have than the marriage that they're going to have. And I thought about my friends' weddings. And that was so true. That was so true. And so here, it's like, well, let's balk tradition. Let's talk about the life that we want. Let's talk about the passion that we want. Let's talk about the world that we want. And either that person rises or that person falls away. And a lot of times we view endings as failures. But sometimes a person isn't supposed to be in our lives forever. This can't even be a past relationship, because remember, overseeing all of this is the Three of Swords: hurt, pain, disappointment, doubt, and despair. It can be that our parents' relationship or our guardian's relationship or our caregiver's relationship failed. It crumbled apart. It can be that the person that we loved so much and so innocently when we were younger treated us horribly, and we carry around those scars. There's a sense of beauty coming in, and it comes from standing in our passionate power, standing in our truth. And this bleeds into all aspects of our lives. This bleeds into the romantic relationships that we have, the personal relationships that we have, the work relationships, because all of a sudden, I'm not seeing myself as somebody who needs to be quiet and sit down. I'm not seeing myself as somebody who doesn't have great ideas. I'm seeing myself as a person of strength and of determination. And all of a sudden, people start seeing me that way. People start seeing this person of power, and it moves us to the Page of Cups. It moves us to being a student of our heart, because it is by understanding our heart, understanding our emotions, that we start to really understand ourselves. What is it that we're seeking? What is it that we want? What is it that we're discovering within our lives? The Page of Cups is saying, what do I love? What do I want? Where do I want to be? What is my heart? You know, what is a relationship? We could have had a million relationships and found none of them truly fulfilling. What does my heart truly want? Where does my soul long to be? And we start to get a gift of love coming in. And that's what kind of triggers this whole entire thing. And this gift of love, it doesn't have to be romantic love, though some of us might be finding a person during this time that we sit there and we're just kind of entranced with. We just kind of look at them and think, my goodness, now this person will be quiet. This person will be more in the background, all right? And that's where they're going to like to be. They have tremendous passion. Now we have to make sure, okay, because we are being warned here, that tremendous passion, that person in the background, that person that becomes astoundingly intriguing to us, doesn't become the person who wants to change us for what they want or wants to add more burdens onto our shoulders. So there is a sense of mindfulness here. There's a sense of being intrigued, but then also making sure that they're not going to weigh us down, to deny our voices. The Ace of Cups is the sense of a blessing coming forward, is a sense of a healing of the heart. So as we are students of our hearts, there can be times during this time frame when we feel a bit weepy, we feel a bit overwhelmed, we're questioning things, we're thinking, where do I want to be? What is love for me? Is this really it? You know, we can be feeling really sad at times and thinking, oh my gosh, you know, did I get it wrong? Because the Ace of Cups, it washes away. It washes away the hurts and the pains and the disappointment. It doesn't mean that it takes all our hurts and says, okay, they're not there anymore, only sunshine and puppy dogs. But it says here that there's power coming. There's a release from the pain that once defined us so readily. And because of that, there gets to be a beauty that shines. And it moves us to the Ten of Wands. We have to be really mindful. And it's no joke, Aquarius. As an Aquarius, you will take on the burdens of everybody. Okay? Especially since you have Pisces energy here. The Leo energy can make you a little bit more like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, what the heck, are you crazy? Type of thing. But because we have the Pisces energy here, because we are Aquarius, this is going to be, there's going to be a really big sense of saying, oh, I can take that on. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I got that. Oh, don't worry. And we will do that until we blow our top, until our passion rises too much. And the Ten of Wands is like, put down the burdens now. Make a map of it. Straighten things out. Get ready, because things are changing, because you yourself are changing, because power is coming forward. And it can't be with the Ten of Wands. It can't be stuck looking at the ground, stuck looking at our feet, looking at the dirt before us, because all we'll see is dirt and never a sky. And it's not even, the beautiful green, luscious grass. It's like the trampled on muck that comes. And so we have to release ourselves. These are also with people who we think, oh my gosh, I'll carry their burden. I'll help them out. They have to find their path. They have to find their way. We can offer to help people. We can say, this is a really good idea. I don't know why you're not doing it, type of deal. But they inevitably have to walk their path. And we have to respect that, understand that, even if it's driving us up and down the Mississippi. And the Three of Swords is heartbreak, pain, and disappointment. There was a sense of this over this whole entire reading. That's why it's taking such bravery to say, I accept this gift. I move myself forward. I get to celebrate. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. Oh my gosh, I did that wrong again. It's like, no. We look at the heartbreaks. The heartbreaks can have come early on. We could have seen our caregivers just being in a terrible relationship. We could have seen, heartbreak and pain and disappointment on a scale that really did define us. We could have been betrayed early when it came to love. And what we're looking at here is an owning of that energy. Instead of saying, oh, I don't want to see it. I don't want to own that. I don't want to work on that. We see if we follow this pain, we can see how it comes up time and time again. Okay, there was heartbreak here. And then things come up from our subconscious. Oh, I knew that person who was beaten to death by their spouse. Oh, wow, I knew that ended so poorly. And then all of a sudden, it's like a pattern of violence that we didn't know was around our hearts. And the sense of protection of, do I fall into that violence? Do I not fall into that violence? I mean, that is, of course, an extreme, but it is a truth. And we start to see love as something different. It's not a fairy tale. The easiest thing in the world is to fall in lust. The hardest thing in the world is to have a relationship that lasts, that sustains time. And it's not even just romantically, it's in life in general. To have a relationship that says, I'm here to stay. To have that friend that stands by our side. To have that person that is our rock. That we're like, wow, if I needed to bury the body, I'd call you, type of thing. And so here, we're looking at the hurts and the pains, the distrust, the angers, the upsets. And we're starting to see ourselves as, yes, victims of circumstances, but also as people who are astoundingly strong because we take out the swords. And now we are armed. We are armed with knowledge. We are armed with nobility of spirit, with power of self to conquer our world, to go after what we want. Our spirit message for Aquarius, love and relationships. Angels and spirit guides, please guide me. Awesome. It is tranquility during this time to be tranquil, to be connected with our souls, to be connected with ourselves, to embrace love, to see what love is, to see what we desire. That becomes invaluable. That becomes so powerful, and it moves us then. It's like during this time, we can have the trauma drama I mean, easy peasy. We can have the trauma drama, but we need to step back from it and say, that's not the world I want. That's not the love I want. That's not the place I want to be. I'm healing. I'm seeing what is right for me. It can start with, changing up our diet. Our diet is so important, yet so few people talk about it. I mean, maybe people do talk about it. A lot, it depends on who you're listening to. But there's a sense here in the power of the fuel that we give ourselves, the power in the way that we're moving forward in life. And it leads us to our spirit animal message. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Aquarius, love and relationships. It leads us to the coyote spirit. Trust in divine detours. And Lord knows from this reading, like, we've had divine detours. We've had twists and turns along the way that we're like, oh my goodness, why am I here? Like, what is this? Why did this happen? That's not even fair. And the coyote spirit says, it's not supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be the journey. It's supposed to be the way that we evolve. It's supposed to be the knowledge that we hold. It's not fair. But it is exquisite if we step back and we look from it from a divine way, from a power of the heart way. And it leads us to our subconscious message. From our spirit animals, the antelope spirit, it says life is speeding up. We're not content to be quiet. We're not content to carry all the burdens. We're not content to just simply look at our feet. We want the sky. We want more. The hurt and the pain and the disappointment, okay. I see it, I understand it. But it doesn't get to be my world. It leads us to our subconscious spirit message, which is peace, tranquility, peace. There's a theme here. There's a theme of connection. There's a theme. Meditation can be so important during this time, just to connect with the peace that we want, to look at the discord within ourselves, to let silence have a place within our lives, and within a life that is constantly filled with notifications and distractions and, chaos, to say, it's time for quiet. It leads us to our subconscious chakra message, which is divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is a sense of divinity pouring down wisdom on us. We want more. We want to look at the sacred. We want to look at the unseeable. We want to embrace what we could not understand before. We could be moving towards mysticism. Again, sacred love is going to be something that we find enticing and intriguing. That connection of soul, that breath to breath understanding. So often our world, we value the individual, which is awesome. We are all individuals and we all have a slightly different way of seeing things. But we all need to be part of a community, part of a greater. And we're kind of losing that. The divine wisdom is bringing us back to something that we've been missing for too long. And it starts to empower us. The energy that we need to be, mindful of, and the subconsciously, is the Queen of Cups, is the fairy tale kind of becoming so enticing, so alluring. That person that just seems to know exactly the right thing to say all the time, who is a little cagey, but who can always explain it away. There is a sense here that the person who is a bit raw with us, who's a bit more real, that's an important person. Not in a sense like, oh, they really get angry and I know exactly where they stand. They have a hot temper. No, we have to be really mindful of that person. Really mindful of the person who loses themselves and then goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe you made me do that type of thing. No, we have to be really mindful of that. Or, oh my goodness, I can't believe, I'll never do it again. No. This is a person who uses love as a manipulation. Right now, we have this capacity for such love, such connection, and to have it corrupted would just be a crying shame. It really would be. The subconscious tarot message is the Ace of Wands. We're crowned, we're taking this gift. It's power and it's passion. It's that fire of creativity. It's sexual energy. It's saying, I know what I want. Now, we have been burned in the past. We've been cheated on. We've been lied to, and there's a sense of, do I trust? Do I trust the passion that is a part of me? Do I trust the beauty that I have? Do I trust where I want to stand within my life? Or we're getting a gift subconsciously from divinity that says the passion is worth it. The beauty is coming in. Let the heart be the guide. Let the fire move us forward. All right, Aquarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move from heartbreak into power. And as we see the sheer strength and beauty of our hearts. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.